Alright, everyone. Let me shut the windows. Sure looks dark out there. Looks like it is going to rain any moment. That one shut easy. Okay. So, everybody. I'm gonna sit. Bring up a little chair to go grab it. So, I'm going to give you time to work on your show and tell projects a little bit later. And I'm not going to go into any explanations because I have screencastify videos that I am really making, and I'm going to be posting those on my page and on my channel for you to see those things. Okay, so that you can go in and watch those, and that has all of the information. Okay? So we're going to get to reading. So today we're going to be talking about Taurus as a child. Taurus as a child. So we're done with the introduction now, and we read all about the astrology sections, and we know a little bit about Venus as being the planet of relationship, the planet of love, the planet of what you care about most, the planet of connection, beauty, pleasure, and Venus is a really, really sweet planet as well. And we're going to see how this comes through with its retrograde and with Taurus, because remember, Venus rules Taurus. So we're also going to be talking about Alice Waters, whose birthday was April 28th, and that was on Wednesday. Well, no. That was on Tuesday. Sorry. Her birthday was on Tuesday. So, we didn't really, talk a lot about that and celebrate it because we had all the stuff going with the songs and the concert music and everything. And I have that all written down up here on the board, and I'm not going to really change that around because I don't want to waste everything. So, let's see here. Okay, so Taurus as a child. So, do we know how to work this? Do we know how to work these candles? So, what you do is, of course, you turn it on and off right here. Okay, right there. And then you, if you want to go back, and you go forward and backward to get to the different sections here, okay? And if you click, and to click on one section to go to the reading, you click on the downward button and it takes you right to it. And if you want to go forward to the next page, just keep going down. If you want to go back up, you use the up arrow. Okay, so it's a little bit new, and we really have not had a lot of meetings with this Taurus Clubus because of all the other stuff going on. So today we're going to be doing half of the reading, and the other half will be you working on your projects. Okay, and so we're only focusing on the written portion, and I'm going to go through all the information. And additionally, the other club is for Labor Club, and all of the Minton, everybody is going to be doing this show and tell project, because the Minton is going in a completely astrological direction. so go all of the other Lamentans. Okay, so there will be a lot of people crammed into one little space. Okay, and I hope that you can find some room while I go over all of this information later. So, every section begins with a little quote. Now, before I get into it, I just want to tell you a couple of things. This does get a little personal, and I will skip around the sections that really are not too important with her own stories. And also, this is pretty light reading. Well, it gives a lot of, a lot of examples. Not like all the facts and all of the information you feel you need to memorize. I think that you can sort out the main general points that are most important. And all the other stuff is examples. So you don't need to remember like this pretty star blanket or apple pie or whatever. You can just remember just the basic things. So in a way, we can get through more categories of this book than we did with the Aries book, for those of you who were a part of that clubus. So Kathy is going to be arriving here later today. She probably won't get here till about 4 or something along those lines. So we won't do any welcoming ceremony back. We won't do anything of the sort. She'll just come here, and actually she will be here for the information about the project on the show and tell, since I wanted her to be, because she and maybe some of her candy apples, if she can fit those in with all the rest of the mentions and all the presentations and all the individuals, she will be doing her own. So I want her to be here so that I don't have to repeat the information onto her, so that she could be there with everybody. Now, for those of you who do the dancing for the songs for the concert honoring her, for Susan Boyle's Perfect Day concert, and also the other song as well with Spring is in the Air and all that, and also Cedar Swamp. So there's a lot of choreography, there's a lot of technique, and a lot of dancing, and a lot of details, and a lot of movements that need to get known and understood, and you need to get trained into doing those things really quickly. So it'll be like Abby Lee's dance studio, where you have to put your 100% focus and attention on it, and you can't, be wandering off or daydreaming or anything. You have to get your mind in gear, drink water, eat things to get your energy up, because there'll be a lot of stuff you need to do, because we do not have long until this concert, so you really need to take this seriously and pull your weight, okay? So that's also, so how did the Zoom meeting go? Okay, excellent. So I unfortunately was not on there because I had a meeting with the other Minton staff. So what did you talk about on that? Okay. We just talked about the dances and what will be expected. How do you feel comfortable using Zoom? Do you feel comfortable using that technology? Okay, yeah, I know it's very, very tough in use, but anyway. So let's begin. So every section begins with a little quote. Dreams can become a reality when we possess a vision that is characterized by the willingness to work hard, desire for excellence, and a belief in our right and our responsibility to be equal members of society. That's for your Libra Aries. And that's Capricorn too. I should say Capricorn, very cardinal. And so that really represents Abby Lee's dancers, because you don't just get something for nothing in this world. You need to work up to it. You need to earn it. And that's what she really wants to, as one of her messages and lessons, to make clear to her dancers and her estudiantes. So, that's a good quote. It gives a little quote citation. It has the name, the occupation or career, or careers, and Taurus sun, and then the birthday. So this is by Janet Jackson, the singer, songwriter, dancer, actor. Dancer. Well, how about them apples? How about that? He's a dancer, and he had that quote. Now the next question that I should ask, because I wonder if he was one of Abbey Lake's dancers. It's probably not, but that could be an explanation. So I found that really coincidental, and his birthday is May 16th. So, let's begin with the reading. Okay, so I'll read, and I think that this is pretty self-explanatory, and because it's not all the facts and all the information, I can kind of elaborate, and I can kind of, we can sit down and really take this seriously. So let's begin. So to explore a child's experience of their unique astrological makeup requires a different approach than one used in exploring the chart of an adult, whose life is much farther along in the layers of its unfolding. Children's charts offer exciting insights into the seeds of who they are to become. The character is considered malleable and not yet fully formed. Children are still at the beginning stages of their lives, and thus everything related to a child's chart is an opportunity to root into. As a parent, investing in understanding your child's astrology will offer a wealth of knowledge about how to best guide and develop your child's innate gifts and skills, and also will provide helpful information on navigating areas in life that may be a little tougher for your little Taurus. So the idea is to nurture and guide your child toward activities, teachers, and resources that may help them grow into their unique potentials of who they are to become and flourish on their path. Astrology can be such a helpful resource for parents. So it says in this section, you will learn about more about what it means to have your little one's brightest light, the sun, and the sign of Taurus. So that was just basically saying that your child's astrology isn't fully developed through their chart and their personality or whatever through their chart. And so it is helpful to be aware of that and to calculate that information and to put it in and get to know that, because it shows their own unique potential. Offers them a blueprint of who they are and who they are to become. So it's good to do that at an early age. Now I think that was pretty self-explanatory. So areas in life navigation and their the skills and the gifts that they were born with, based off of their sign and in their chart. So I think that explained it pretty well. But now forget about that, because I want to get into on the main point, and I want to just see what time it is before my Libra Clubbuses arrive. Okay, so 3:24. She's supposed to come at about 4 o'clock, so we still have some time. Okay. So, now we're going to read about the Taurus child. So, follow along with me, please. So the child's whose sun or rising sign is in Taurus is sensitive to their surroundings. So very sensitive, going with all the senses, hearing, touching, tasting, feeling, smelling, all those things. As Taurus is the most sensual and sensually oriented sign of the zodiac. Sensual is a word meaning referring to the senses. So, all the senses. And sensually oriented sign of the zodiac. So imagery, think of imagery as a figurative language term. These are the children who, while playing outside, will stop along the way to literally smell the roses. It's like this is the time of year where all the flowers are coming out in bloom, and all the nature has their own unique tastes, looks, and smells, and appearances. And like I hear sometimes on those commercials that you see sometimes on the TV, it says, "Go out and smell the roses," or something along those lines. And that is a metaphor for it can mean get in touch with reality and get in touch with what's going on, or go try this because it might be a nice opportunity, or just slow down, chill out, and kind of live simply, which is all about Taurus season, particularly in late April, because when it gets to May, it's a grounded party. But anyway, so run their tiny fingers along the brick wall as they find the texture exhilarating, or sing along and dance with musicians and performers on the street. So that, this goes with the senses, hearing and feeling and using your body, really immersing yourself into something. And, just the feel of, and just right now, I just want you to, here's what I want you to do. So as a neat little activity, I want you to think of something that is feeling, that you just like to touch and you like to feel. So think of let's explore all the different senses. So let's begin with touching and feeling. So here's what I want you to do. Try, just putting your fingers on the floor. Just put your fingers on the floor. It's all about, the simplest of things, how the ground feels, how does the keyboard notes feel, how, what is the smell of this, this room, or this, rose, or whatever. The simplest of things. Warm water, sparkling water, just anything related to the senses, gardening, eating a meal with family, all those things are very Taurus. So first of all, take the time and feel the ground, feel that texture, because as you can feel with the ground, it's kind of a rough texture. Slow down and actually, this is the time of year where all the things that you just kind of take for granted and you kind of just, underestimate and you just don't think of and you're not conscious of, just don't be afraid to be conscious of it. After all, May is Mental Health Month. I don't know why, but it is. I think that August would be. But so anyway, feel the ground, and just feel kind of just that rough, hard, but soft feeling at the same time. And those are things that can't be explained. So just run your hand around the ground, run your fingertips, and just anything that feels pleasurable. Maybe just even your fingertips. Just feeling that, like, I have my nail that I'm touching. I'm just rubbing it around the ground. Now the next thing is just touch anything around you. So for example, I will be feeling this couch. And just kind of, as you're doing it, think to yourself just how this feels. Really put your focus on how this thing feels and what you're noticing as you're going through it. To really feel into the energy of Taurus. And maybe when you're eating, try to eat like the way that they do in Europe and slow down and really taste what you're eating. So feel how that feels. Let's feel how this table feels. All of these, just this wondrous feeling about the simplest of things. And just anyone can do it. It's the most simplest, just, it's all about simple. This book is simple, this club is simple. Just the simplest thing about just, feeling something and thinking, oh, that feels kind of neat. Like, how does that feel? All of these kinds of things. So just kind of touch around and feel how, different things feel and get a taste of the different varieties. And just, just do all those things. So I think that you've got it. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to just choose just a couple objects around the room that you're just going around and the feel of them really, and that you felt that really interested you, or a specific part of your thing. Like, for example, mine was touching the ground with my nail. So just find something simple that you found pleasurable. It's like something that I find pleasurable that's very, very small is just kind of getting in my eyes and just picking up the little sleep things, like the little sleep dots. So maybe, picking my face a little bit when I have pimples. Something about that. So that's very Taurus. Everybody loves the body. Everybody's sensual. It's not that Taurus can feel things better. They're just more sensitive to those things. And I'm going to kind of debunk that because I consider that unfair and it's maybe even a little bit unrealistic. But anywho, welcome to astrology. So now that you've done that, let's come back. So we talked about feeling along the brick wall. Maybe you can feel along that wall. Feel the different patterns. We just did that. And then, or sing along and dance with the musicians and performers on the street. Let's see. I mean, for those of you, this is what I'm going to say. So raise your hands if you're dancing for the concert. Okay. So the next time that you're doing that, I just want you to do me a little favor and actually just take some time and really feel into those things and really slow down and focus on how these little movements feel. And one of the things that Jeff Henshaw does on his podcast is kind of rub his knees and kind of do deep breaths, and I really don't understand how that entrances astrology practice, but anyway. So, also kind of scratching my head, getting a little flakes out with something. So, I don't know if I should make you do a couple of dances, but I think that you get that. So, I'm going to try something, which I'm just going to do spontaneously, and it might not work out, and if it feels funny with something. So, we've talked about touch and feeling. Now we're going to get to the actual movements of the legs. something I was in a rut about this summer is walking. Feeling as I'm walking, the movement of it all. But so kind of just do a couple little stretches. Just kind of put your arms right here, just, something, and maybe even try to touch, the sides of your head and just kind of feel how the sounds a little bit differently in your ears. Okay, maybe even feel how it feels along, the arm to, the heel and everything. And so now maybe even try to stick out the legs like this and kind of do a couple of little stretches. Exercising in yoga is something also. It's a little small thing that Aries and Taurus have in common. Aries can bring that physical energy. Taurus can bring that sensuality connecting with the physical. And maybe now you can, just kind of play around with different movements. Just do like any crazy move or whatever, and feel, and try to really focus your mind and feel how those things. Okay. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Just I want to see your individual movements. Great. And especially those who are dancing. I want to see your movements. Okay. Alright. Good. Thought that I'd make this a little bit engaging for you to do. So, and sometime maybe I'm going to make you kind of, touch along, the skin, and maybe the skin of others and what they're wearing and everything else. You have germ killers, so we can accommodate that. So, anyway, so they're completely enthralled with worldly delights. So almost anything that they can be open-minded about, they're not particularly in category and all those things. And have an uncanny knack for effortlessly finding them wherever they go. So they're really recognizable and find those things wherever they go. They also may be more attracted to physical items. Okay, let's see. As a source of comfort that are children of other signs. So, now with this show and tell thing, that I'm going to be explaining all these things here, really focus on, the sensualness of it. Think about how it feels, how it smells, if it has a taste, or, how it looks and everything. Really focus on it, because it's Taurus season. And I might bring in here a little, a couple stuffed animals that I have, so that you can all go around and feel how they feel. And so, what's going to happen is, while you're doing your presentations at the show and tell thing, everybody is going to be, I'm going to be going around. I might want to change it, where everybody's going to have a little taste of the dish, or get their own particular look at that painting, or feel how this feels. Okay, and I'll be bringing in a couple things as well. So we'll do a practice mini version. So, blanket stuffed animal, or tactile comfort of sucking one's thumb. You know, the sucking of the thumbs. You probably did that when you were little. Obviously, blankets, stuffed animals, so very, very soft and cuddly. So she gets personal. So I myself am a Taurus, and I admit I sucked my thumb until I was 7. It was an impossible habit to break. I found a lot of comfort in sucking my thumb, or gently wetting my finger along my eyelid on the top part of my eye to fall asleep. So everybody just try that. So just put your finger on, your eye, well, whatever. And then just kind of put it on your eyelid, which is a little brow type thing. Just kind of run your finger along and kind of close the eye, and then maybe get the lash as well. Maybe feel how that feels. I don't know. I just want you to try it. Since we're dealing with the senses, I can make this engaging. So, to fall asleep. How many of you ever had sucking thumb habits or touching your finger on the eye like that she described? Okay. Like, what was one bodily habit that that you had that you just couldn't get out of that was pleasurable? And and also encompass the senses to that: touch, taste, feel, sound, smell, all those things. Okay. Oh, okay. So, yeah, okay. Picking nails, biting nails, all those things. Scratching the head. Okay. Okay. So, on the top part of my ear to fall asleep, something about the texture and connection to habit itself was soothing. So the texture and then connecting. So I also had a small purple blanket with tiny sparkly silver stars, the foreshadowing, you know what that is, named Blanky, that I would take everywhere. I couldn't leave the house without it, and if I couldn't find it, I would be completely distraught until I was located. Okay, now think of something that, and I have a couple things, believe it or not, that you would feel uncomfortable without, that you just need. That is just something that you cling to and attach to. For example, I feel really comfortable if I have lip balm and Tic Tacs right beside me. And here's something that I just want to interrupt